Hi everyone, how are you doing? Today I am with BJ Entrepreneur, and I have been connected for a couple of years, 5 to 10 years, anywhere there, and it's blurry after that time. And I found him randomly on the internet, or he found me randomly on the internet, something like that. His name had Entrepreneur, and at that time I was pushing for entrepreneurship a lot. And so PJ has been living in China, in Hong Kong, and in Philippines. He's an American from New York. So I think, he knows more about Philippines and China and Hong Kong than I do for sure, because he has lived there, and he loves Sichuan food. So he's definitely embraced himself into cultural nuances of Asia. And today my topic is remote jobs and working from home. So he lives in Philippines, and in Philippines, the per capita income is still around $2,000 a year. I will just Google it, but still, it's not very high. It's not very different than other Asian countries, and the lower spectrum. And my question we will discuss today is, why are people still poor? Why are people still not able to earn more money, even though they they look the same, they have the same internet, they grow up with the same internet? And how are you doing today?
Oh, okay. Okay, everything just stopped for a second. I'm doing fine. I'm here in Manila, Philippines, which is where recently I took over an e-commerce company that was owned by some Chinese, and I helped them a lot. And they decided to pull out of the Philippine market because they're going public in China, and they just want to focus on their Chinese business. So basically, I was able to just take over because they're my friends, and I had to move the warehouse and lots of problems here in the Philippines as far as getting things done. I took over in the middle of December, and I still don't have electricity in my warehouse because of paperwork issues and lease issues and many things like that. So that's why I'm here in Manila. But I also have a place in Davao City where during the pandemic, as my Chinese friends closed down their offices, they had a lot of extra equipment, and so they asked me to help them get out of their leases, which I did. And they said, "Help me sell the equipment." And I said, "Well, nobody is going to buy it because everybody's trying to do the same thing." I told them, "Just give it to me, and I'll do something great with it." So they gave it to me. I put it on a ship. I sent it to Davao City, and it arrived on a day when everything was totally locked down and I couldn't get it. So the only thing that was available was to be able to deliver medical supplies. So I told the people at the port to go to 7-Eleven, buy some paracetamol, and put a sign on the truck delivering medical supplies. And they delivered the stuff to me. And luckily, they didn't get caught. But I had a whole plan that if they got caught and the paracetamol wasn't good enough, that I was going to tell them that the back of the truck was filled with my depression medication, because if I don't get it, I'm going to be depressed. Anyway, long story short, I got everything. I ended up buying a building to put it in, because I was going to rent space in a school that was closed. And the lady who owned the school said, "Hey, I have a building for sale." And she gave me the address. And I came back to her the next day with an offer, with a ridiculous offer, actually. I gave her the equivalent of $150 to get the key. And I told her that in 3 years, I would pay her 1.5 million pesos, which is, I don't know, like $30,000, something like that. And I did that. And in the meantime, I had something to do during the pandemic. I renovated. I have 50 workstations in my living room, and we open it up to the local people. And I have different groups in there working on projects. And so that's where I'm at there. And then that also caused me to buy another property where I'm building about a 600 square meter building that's going to be both a living space and an incubator. Um, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing some things with AI and blockchain technology. Hive is one of the things I'm working on. You can probably see that on my shirt. Are you still there? Uh-oh.
I'm here. I'm here. I can
Oh,
hear
okay.
you.
I don't know what happened. I just lost everything on my screen. Uh, where are we? In a browser?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There we are. Anyway, yeah, I'm working with the Hive blockchain, and we're building apps on that. Um, Social media app is one of them, D.Buzz. And we have some other things. I'm going to combine it with my e-commerce business. Because of the delays. I've decided to not sell on Lazada and Shopee, which would be the equivalent of like Daraz in Pakistan. And I'm going to be able to give away free data to people who share links on social media about the products for sale, and they will also be able to earn income if the products get sold. So I think that's one of the things, on the lower end of the spectrum, people who don't have a lot of money, they also don't have money for data. So they're just basically stuck with whatever they can do with Facebook for free. Um, and I've done some experimenting with like tribal people up on a mountaintop where I buy some data for them. And they don't even have electricity. They send a power bank away on a motorbike, and then it comes back and they charge their phone. Um, so I've been buying data for some of those people, and they've done some pretty incredible things. They learn a lot. I also hooked a bunch of them up with a perfume manufacturer, and they ended up selling out all the perfume within like a couple of days. The problem is they also don't know how to manage money. So I sponsored them for the first inventory, and I told them, make sure you save that money and you put in an order and buy more inventory so you can make more profit. But what they did was they spent all the money, and now they don't have money to buy more inventory, and I'm not going to enable them and give them more inventory and not have the same thing happen. So that's an important lesson that I learned. But anyway, I think that people who are very poor in areas that maybe don't even have electricity can participate in making money online. So any other questions or comments?
Fast forward, if we come into present time, there are lots of programmers in Philippines. There are lots of educated people in Pakistan, in Philippines, in India. Why do they make 10 times less money than this for the same job on the internet in San Francisco while they're sitting on the computer? They can just do it online.
Well, I'm not really sure why. The really good ones get more and more opportunities and make more and more money. I think a lot of people, I have a lot of people approach me from Pakistan, just asking me to give them money. I'm sure you get the same thing. I had a guy today ask me for 35 lakh. It's just kind of unbelievable. We don't even know each other, and I'm getting requests for money all the time. Um, and I think that a lot of people are just lazy and just feel like they should just get money and not do anything, or they have a little bit of knowledge and they think they know everything, and they really know nothing. And the biggest problem that I encounter is when I'm dealing with people, especially from Pakistan, is their English is terrible, and they think that they know English, but I couldn't work with them, because it would be an embarrassment for anybody that I'm working with, and have English like that. It just isn't going to work. So I think that's the thing that most people should focus on is learn the technology, but you better get your
So,
English,
so let's
up to snuff.
let's talk about those who have good English, good programming skills, and still they make 10 times less money. So they are earning maybe $1,000 a month in Philippines or Pakistan, and they can easily earn $24,000 or $50,000 in Sweden, in the United States, and the UK, while working on the same exact thing online. Why do you think they are unable to do it?
Well, I think it's a cultural thing too. Um, if they want to earn that kind of money, they need to go to that place. It's not just about getting the work done, it's also about the cost of living. And the companies that are smart enough to get offshore labor, the reason why they're doing it, first of all, it's a little bit more difficult to do than if the person is right there in the same country or sitting in the same office. A lot of people are now working outside the office, but it's still easier to work together if you're in the same local area because you can have face-to-face meetings. um, but yeah, I'm not sure why. I guess if somebody is smart enough, they can make that kind of money. But
Don't you think it's the
usually there's some
network that
drawbacks.
matters? Don't you
What's
think
that?
it's don't you think it's the network and the people they know? For example,
Oh, absolutely.
trying to you're trying to take Asher from Pakistan so that he can work in Philippines, but if Asher had a network with somebody in the United States, he would offer double, triple, five times what, because he's really good at everything which you need,
Yeah.
but he just doesn't have the network. So, and people don't build the network. So, what do you have to
Well,
say about that?
definitely building a network is so important. That's why him being connected to me makes a lot of sense because I'm always looking for opportunities to help him grow, and he's been very loyal to me. And so no matter what, our relationship was never really about money. It was about helping each other, and I've helped him grow in a lot of different ways, and he's on that journey. The first step for anybody who is in Pakistan, uh, if you want to work overseas online, the first thing you should do is travel. Try to get out of your country and travel someplace and take some pictures of yourself traveling, because I know that means a lot. I have friends in Pakistan, not in Pakistan, in Bangladesh that I helped get started like 12 years ago, and they are now making big money. They bought some real estate. They built a building, and they're expanding a lot. But initially they were making like $1 a day when I met them, and these two brothers showed up in China. They stayed a couple of months with me in China. When I was in Malaysia, they came in Malaysia and helped me on a project, and all that stuff adds up when they're selling overseas and they talk about their experiences. It helps them get work. So I think traveling is a really important thing. Also, for people to understand other cultures. A lot of people in Pakistan, they don't understand cultures around the world and they don't have an open mind. So that's another thing that they should learn. I think probably, you have Caller over there, and I think Caller may be able to help open people's minds as to, the different culture. And I think that's important for people to learn.
So, as you know, a lot of people don't have money, and but they have the internet, they have LinkedIn, they have Facebook, but they're still hesitant to make a connection online. And if they did so, do you think it'll help them?
Yeah, but they have to do it in the proper way. I mean, I get so many messages of people that say, you know, I know how to use Canva. Give me work, stuff like that. That's no way to approach somebody. You can engage me in conversation if you talk about something that I posted and start a conversation and tell me about yourself. But you know, don't just approach me and say hire me because I know Canva or something like that. And I've gotten hundreds of messages like that. And that's not the way to approach me. And some people I do engage with. If they say something interesting to me, then I'll chat with them. But a lot of them, I just don't have time to read all those messages. If I see it's a message like that, I just skip it.
Wonderful. Have you seen anything what we're doing with the school and the children in
Yeah,
Pakistan?
I have, and I actually I've been talking about you a lot. I want to make a trip over there, especially after Ashir comes over here and gets involved with what we're doing here. At some point, maybe in 6 months or something like that, I would like to come over there and also talk to people about Hive because it's a social media platform where you can actually earn money. Now, recently, I know somebody that posted something on Hive and earned over $100 just from one post because of the people who liked it. Um, and if you want to get more information about that, you can go to hive.io and see all the applications that are on there and understand how it works. Um, at some point, maybe we can do a call and talk specifically about that. But I would rather actually make a trip over there with some people and talk about that, because there's a lot of opportunities on there. And there's also opportunities for people to build applications. And if they're really good, they can also get funding to help make it happen.
So tell me, what is Hive?
Well, it's a decentralized blockchain technology. It includes a cryptocurrency, but you can build apps on it. It's sort of, it's like Bitcoin, but Bitcoin you can't build apps on it. So that's pretty much what it is. And it would take a lot more time to describe it in detail. Um, but the first thing is to understand what cryptocurrency is and what decentralized applications are and blockchain technology. Um, and then if they want, they can go to an app called D.Buzz and sign up. That would be the first step to getting started, and then they can explore the network. Once they sign up on D.Buzz, they will have a Hive wallet where they can get cryptocurrency in there just by posting. And if people like their post, they will earn sometimes fractions of a cent and sometimes a lot more money. It depends upon how much the person who likes it, how much cryptocurrency that they have. And so then it carries more weight and they end up earning more.
It just went over my head. Make it easy.
That's okay. I think maybe one day we can arrange to do a call with people that have a lot more expertise than me, and talk to your people, or better yet, to go over there and show people and something like that. I mean, that's my long range plans. I'm not an expert at it. I'm more involved in the marketing of it, not in the technical aspect of it.
So if somebody goes to D.Buzz and signs up, what happens?
Well, they will then have an account like on Twitter, and that's a basically a clone of Twitter, not a clone, but it's like Twitter. And then they can post things, and people who read it and like it will they'll earn some money when it gets liked.
So, and what script did you use? Did you use a script? Do you use an open source code? You made it from
Well,
scratch?
it's open source. Hive is open source.
No, for D.Buzz, what did you use?
To tell you the truth, I don't know what it's being written in. I'm not involved in that part of. All I do is connect people. I don't get involved in the details of the technical part of it. I'm not a coder. I wish I was. I went to school for it, but I dropped out because back then everything was on IBM cards with 80 columns, and I would make so many typing mistakes. Like I leave out a comma, and then we had to hand the cards into a window at the university and wait like 40 minutes for the printout. And then it was like, oh, you left the comma out. So start over. And I would spend like so many hours just correcting my typing mistakes that I eventually gave up and decided to focus on business. And that was actually one of the best decisions that I ever made. So,
Amazing. All right. So in my school, with the school which we have started for children, we require them to actually talk and have friends and mentors. And I took your permission and we took your photo and posted in there. And they need to talk to somebody in who's not from Pakistan and whose native language is not Urdu. So, are you open for some conversations with them, and do you have students who are open to conversations with them?
I'm open to conversations with them, and I also have some people who can talk to them. They wouldn't be Americans, they would be Filipinos, but they could certainly talk to them. And there's it's a different culture over here. Um, I think we should definitely try it.
So, is there someone? If please, I will introduce you to our school, and then make a group for you, and you can set time with them and have a conversation with them, and make more. Um, you can make more introductions
Yeah,
to them.
I would be interested to help you out with that, but I'm also interested in connecting with older people, anywhere from like, 13, 14 up to college age or even older. Um, because, the younger ones, I'm happy to help them, but the other ones, I'm always looking for talent. And what happened is when I went to your place and I met Ashir, he had demonstrated that he built a game on a tablet, and that caught my eye. And then when I asked him to come along to, I think it was Barrier University or something. I don't remember the name of it, but anyway, we went to some entrepreneurial center at the university, and I spoke a little bit, and then I introduced him, and basically he got a standing ovation, and people really loved what he did. And I just kept in touch with him and helped him, learn over the years. And eventually an opportunity came, and I introduced them, and he's actually the lead developer for DBuzz at this point.
Wonderful. Well, in our incubator, we have 80 students who are 18 plus, and in the school, the people I want to get you in touch are 13 to 15.
Okay,
Uh,
that's
they're
also a good age in the school. I thought you were talking about younger, much younger kids.
So the 13 to 15 kids are smarter than the ones who are 18 plus because in the last 1 year we have literally enforced technology on them, language on them. I mean, given them laptops, given them smartphones. They've just been playing with them for a year. So now, since a year, which I asked you to do, and now they are actually ready to actually have a conversation. They were not technically savvy enough to do it. Even if they wanted to do it, they were shy or they were just having hindrances.
Well, I would love to have a conversation with them, and maybe also bring along some of the guys that I have here that I'm mentoring, and they're learning a lot. A lot of them are helping me with some AI things, and every day we're always learning. And we're not always making money. Sometimes we spend a lot of money and we're not making anything on these particular projects, but I do it anyhow because in my life I've had a couple of really big successes, and I like to learn every day, and I like to learn about new technology. And I really believe that AI is going to change the world. And anybody who's interested in a secure future better be learning it, and looking for opportunities.
So, if I was to hire somebody who worked at your incubator and they would come in and I can pay them just to talk to my kids, how much would it cost them as long as they just speak English? They don't have to have any qualification except for being a girl and not
Okay.
shy on camera.
I think about maybe $200 a month. I could find somebody who could do that. Um, it would. I don't know what kind of hours that you would require. But I could definitely
Normal
find
hours.
somebody, and depending, what's that?
Normal hours.
No, normal hours. Yeah, I would say, if you want to get a smart person, I would say $200 to $300 a month.
Okay, sure. Instead of fixed salary, can I pay them per conversation?
Yeah, I can talk to people and find out, because of course we want to see how it works. That's the best way to do it, is to, step by step, and see how things work. I
So
mean,
I
I
would
might
be
even find people who would volunteer, but a volunteer is not going to be spending 8 hours a day. If it's somebody who has a job, and they need to be able to earn income so they can, support themselves.
So I would rather take a part-time person and I would pay them like 4 or 5 hours a day. They can schedule 5 interviews a day and I can pay accordingly. Say, for example, if it's $200 a month, we can divide it by the hour and we can pay them per interview. And this way, their own network will grow and their communication will grow, and that's more. I would be more interested in that if that is possible. Otherwise, I can
Okay,
hire.
but you specifically want a female?
The reason I want a female, if I thought female is easier to hire in Philippines than a male, but It doesn't matter to you.
I have not really had a whole lot of success, even though I've tried to mentor some females. It's just that I don't know. I find the males have more drive and ambition and are a bit smarter. Um, you know, maybe I just picked the wrong ones. So, um,
All I
you know,
have always seen in Dubai is Filipino females. I never see male. I thought there's almost no males there, so I don't know why that is.
yeah.
But sure, we can start there, no problem.
Okay, because I may have somebody who's around me all the time that we can try it and see how it works.
We
Um,
can try a couple and then see how that works, and then you can hire me somebody full time also.
okay, so we can talk about it in the form of okay, you try this. This is like an interview, and maybe it'll turn into a,
A
a
job.
job, yeah,
Yeah,
something like that. And I can try to find some people, or maybe on an ongoing basis, just be looking for people who want to expand their network.
yeah.
I think Pakistan has a huge amount of opportunity. Um, but it also gets frustrating sometimes. Like I tried to do e-commerce business over there, and I won't say never, but the customs and everything is just so corrupt that I say never for now. you know, Maybe things will change, but it's just very difficult. And I'm more interested in being involved in things that can be delivered online. And I'm involved with a company. It's called Targetron.com, where I'm selling business to business data. And I love doing stuff like that because you just deliver it right away. Um, and you don't have any shipping or crossing borders or any problems like that.
So I think you are a fantastic. I think I'm not sure, but I think you are a good manager. So I think if you get into remote job business, that would be an exciting business. One of my friend has done $18 million worth of business in the last 2 years with remote jobs and only 200 employees. So I think living in Philippines, understanding Philippines, especially a lot of Americans should get into this because the world is getting flatter and flatter.
Yeah, definitely.
And AI is helping with the English a lot. Technology is getting cheaper and cheaper. Data is getting cheaper and cheaper. Smartphones are getting everywhere. So the Pakistan you saw 8 years ago and the Pakistan today has already changed. When
Yeah,
you came, we had 10 million smartphones. Now we have 150 million smartphones. But the people who are using them are not so smart yet. They're going to
yeah.
get smart as time goes through.
How
But
about the
it's
cost of data over there? Can people
it's
can
four
people
dollars for a
afford to
month
have?
for
Yeah, but
unlimited
can
data.
people afford the data? In other words, the people who have the smartphones, are they just like stuck on Facebook because they have access
If
for
you take
free?
if you take a guy or a girl who wants to work with you for 8 to 10 hours a day online remotely, say the productivity is only half, it's going to cost you $100 a month or $104 a month with data charges. So it's not very expensive,
Okay.
especially Pakistani currency has been devaluated. I just looked on, like, if you said, Rehan, can you get me five mediocre workers who they can just be there, and they can answer WhatsApp, they can answer Facebook messaging, they speak decent English, so you can communicate, that you can start by $100 a month. If you pay
Okay.
$200 a month, you will get an MBA for $200 a month.
Okay.
So that's something which is very drastically changed in the last 2 years, I would say, a year
Well,
even.
the currency has changed a lot in that time too. What is it?
And
Over 200 now to the U.S. dollar?
305. So
305? Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
So the people earning in dollars are better off. And then the reason I want them to be hired online is because they get mentored by people like yourself. So if somebody works as even for $100 a month for 6 months, after 6 months, they would no longer be worth $100. They will be worth 300 or $200 already
Yeah.
because they already understand the culture, the ethics. They would be fired already if they were not doing all that. And so if you start, that's what I'm encouraging Pakistanis overseas to hire people for $100 a month, even if they work mediocre. The reason is they will start at mediocre, but initially, but after 3 months, they will become normal. And then after 6 months to a year, they will become phenomenal or they will leave. So if you had a bunch of people working for you online, that's something which that's like kind of a mentorship, but they're being forcibly mentored. I was listening to one of the boys today who is now making $1,000 a month. He started off with us. First, he did the 500 interviews or 500 friends. Then he did 100 interviews. Then he got a fellowship at us for $100 a month, $150 a month for a year. He became finally very good, and then he switched jobs, and now he's making $1,000 or $500 to $600 a month because he went through the process.
Right.
And if you keep working for a local guy, even for $100, you will not be able to jump ships as fast as possible, or because you're now limiting yourself within Pakistan. But if you start working for somebody remotely overseas, your mind starts to shift. You
Absolutely.
start to work in a
Definitely.
different way.
That's also why I recommend if somebody can travel, it will totally change their life. And
Well,
I know that when Ashir comes over here, it's going to totally change his life because we also have travel
let's
plans for that too.
let's change more minds than one person, and enough
Oh, of
people can
course.
travel.
I listen, if
Uh,
I could get 100 of him, I would hire them tomorrow, you know.
It takes a few years. The way you can get 100 of him is you hire 3 people or 5 people under him for 6 months, and they will become 10-20% of him. And in if you hire 10 people, you get 4 of them for $1,000,
Well, that's
something like.
actually one of the things that I was planning. When he comes over here, one of the things I want him to do is to take some local people and develop a team here. But I would like him then to go back to Pakistan and find a team over there and develop that team over there while he's back visiting his family and be able to go back and forth. And I think that that could probably work very well with what you already have. Um, so it's something that we should definitely talk about in the future.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, I have Afraz here with me. He's one of the
Okay.
facilitator at our school. I wanted to say hello, and Afraz, can you hear us?
Hello, Afraz. He's
So
muted.
Afraz,
You have
he's
to
great.
unmute him.
Well, I muted him because he's not. His internet is hanging. His mobile is hanging. 90% of the time, these people who have never done an interview, who have never been through this process, they are just unable to do it, and they blame that the internet is not working, or the mobile is not working, or this is not working. It's basically the mindset, this is not working. So I have been pushing for a year for them to use these technologies, and so they understand what is actually broken, what part is what part is broken.
Yeah.
So
Hello,
Afraz,
Afraz.
can you hear me?
He's still muted.
Assalamualaikum and very good evening to you. Yes, I
Uh,
can listen to you, sir.
hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Okay. I'm here in the Philippines. Which city are you in Pakistan?
Can you listen me?
Yeah, which city are you in Pakistan?
Okay.
I think he has
I'm
delayed
from
internet.
Karachi.
Okay. Okay. So I think the internet must be delayed because it seems like he's answering several seconds later.
Yes, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. I'm from Karachi, basically.
Okay. So what have you been working on lately?
We have been working with Rehan Foundation to make sure to teach the students the digital skills, make them the freelancer, make them able to earn and learn the AI, the entrepreneurship, the softwares like Canva.
Yeah, I think we have some internet issues. I can't hear him anymore.
It's not just the internet. It's, as I said, first it's the mindset.
Yeah.
Second, it's the handset. They open a lot of apps on their phone. They have
Yeah.
a computer sitting next to them. They don't open it. They don't know what's wrong, and they constantly blame the internet. And they have
Yeah.
data service available on their phone. They still don't use it
Yeah.
because I don't know why they're trying to save it, though it's unlimited. So it's a lot of different things, and because he doesn't have the experience for it, he doesn't listen. I was reading about this thing that, you know, people think they already know everything, so they don't even listen to somebody who's telling them
Yeah.
to listen.
Fraz, can you hear us again? It looks like he's in a different place, or that's a still picture. I'm not sure.
Let's see if we can make this happen, and I can get some of the students have interviewed over 100 people, so I'll start connecting you with them.
Yeah, that's another thing that you should teach people how to better ask questions, because I've done a couple of interviews, and sometimes it gets very frustrating about the type of questions,
What
or
you
I
do
mean, I
is,
can't give you anything specific, but it just leaves me, my time is pretty valuable. So if I want to talk to somebody, I want to at least have some impact. And um, I've been disappointed in a few of them, and some of them were also good ones too. So I'm not saying every one, but I think people need to learn some interviewing skills as well.
so all you do is, if somebody asks you to give an interview, all you do to them is say, have you done 50 interviews? If they have done 50 or 100, then you allow them to give you time. Otherwise, they would be mediocre. It's like, would you like a pizza? No, but I've never made one before. So it's you want to get a pizza from someone who has made it at least 1,000 times.
Yeah, and
Same thing
also they should
doing.
do a little bit of research about the person that they're interviewing, so they can ask relevant questions.
All that
You know,
happens after 50 or 100 interviews. We teach them, but they don't listen. It's like teaching a new language.
yeah,
I can teach you Japanese or whatever language, but you won't get on, you will only get 0.1% of the language in the first few months. And then slowly you start picking it up. So that's I think that's how learning a new skill is also. So it requires a lot of practice, and people don't practice because they think they already know it. Because it's not something like a language which they can actually not understand. They think they already know it, but they don't really know it.
yeah.
Um, so, Manoj, can you hear us?
Hello, Manoj. I'm not sure he can hear us. He's just
Yeah,
looking
he's
still to
frozen.
me.
So let's try Afraz again.
Efraz, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, so you started to tell me what you were working on, and then the sound went away.
Yeah. Basically, we are working with a vision that we should make every of our student to earn minimum of
Afraz, why don't you tell him
500.
about yourself, not the vision? Why don't you tell
Sorry.
him about yourself? Who are you?
Interview. Okay. Basically, we are teaching here them the skills of taking interview. That is a process course which is designed by Sir Rehan, which they have to follow, and moreover.
I don't think he can hear us, so we'll try another time.
Yeah.
Um, so thank you, PJ, for making the time and
Okay, and
doing.
maybe we should do this more often. I mean, I definitely enjoy talking to you and bringing people on, but hopefully we can have, better conversations with the other people that you invite. And definitely I'll try to find some people that we can experiment and see what happens. I'm always looking for people that have some talent, that I can work with and mentor and have them, grow, and hopefully it turns into something great. And maybe sometime you should have myself and Ashir and maybe one of the guys from D-Buzz or from Hive, to be on all together and have a discussion.
I have limited myself too much to who I'm talking to anymore. I am absolutely trying to stay away from new people because I'm trying to work with the people who already understand me, who already know me. I'm not trying to make new connections at this time. I'm
Okay.
just trying to fix what I have already rather than creating new connections until and unless it's to do with what I'm already doing. So I'm
Right.
very what's the word? We have it called kanjus. Kanjus is like somebody who doesn't want to spend his money, but I'm very kanjus,
with your
stingy.
time. With your
Yeah.
time. Yeah, no, I understand. I have the same issue. I'm trying to I want to focus on the people that can help me make the most impact, or because I just waste too much time with many interruptions of just a lot of craziness. And so I'm also trying to do the same thing. I understand.
And then I get all kind of weird people talking about stuff which they have no clue about, and then they call me names and stuff, and it's just
Ah,
very
just ignore that. I see some of the stuff and it's really so ridiculous because those people really don't know you. And we've been connected for I think almost 10 years. I remember I was in Bangkok at the time, and I think I made a comment on one of your posts, and then you didn't believe that my name was Entrepreneur, and I remember getting on a video call showing my passport. And ever since then we've been good friends, and I've been following you, and then I found out what business you were in, and I had actually done business with your company before. We met in Singapore, had a great time there. I still look at those pictures every once in a while because that was a really great meeting, and I'm glad I jumped on a plane to get over there to meet you.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. So, what kind of people do you want to meet? Like you said, you are always looking for people. Well, what does that even mean? People are everywhere.
Smart people who can speak English well, and who have the drive and ambition to do something. I think
Something
too
what
many
everyone
people
wants to get
focus
mad if
on
you
on
them.
money. Money will come, but people are focusing on money, and maybe some of that, like for instance, you want people to make $500 a month, and that's great, and they can do it, but they want to get the $500 before they actually have the skills to earn $500, and that's a big problem.
Right. So that doesn't really answer me anything. I can't find, if I could find those people, if it was written on their sticker on their head that this
it,
is
it's hard to
who they
find, and it takes years to develop, even here. Whenever I see somebody who captures my attention, like this person, I can't even describe it, but when I see a talented person, I don't let go. And I moved to Davao City because I met an American guy who I knew he was a genius, and eventually I ended up moving to Davao City because he agreed to throw a fiber over the fence and give me 500 Mbps service. And from there, we built some amazing stuff so far. Um,
So the people who are already like that with the mindset, it's very rare to find them. But if you can tell me this is what you want them to be in 6 months, this is what you want them to be in 2 years, I can tell you that this is what we look for, and then we grow them. It's like seeds.
Well, it's hard to say. I think the biggest thing that people should learn how to do right now is to understand artificial intelligence and how to use it to maximize what they can do. Because for me, I would rather use artificial intelligence than have a person. And I just had a conversation today with some people on our team about, how we want to use artificial intelligence because dealing with people sometimes is just too difficult. They're unpredictable. I can take something from my idea and put it into Chat GPT and other things, and come out with some amazing stuff in a little bit of time that a whole team of people couldn't do, and I can do it in 20 minutes. Um, so I think it's gonna change the world. I feel sorry for the people that don't have any skills. So I think anybody who is really interested in doing something exciting in their life, they need to learn as much as they can, as quick as they can, and implement those skills and then offer them to other people, because there's a lot of businesses right now that don't know how to do this stuff. And if they can figure out a task that they can do and use artificial intelligence to help them along, then they will definitely be able to earn $500 a month, maybe a lot more too.
Temur, can you go to Ali's classroom and show him PJ's photo where it is on the wall?
Is that Ali Blondie?
No, Ali
Okay,
Blondie has joined
okay, sir.
tennis. This is Temur. Uh,
Okay.
Taimur is working at our incubator.
Okay.
This is for adults.
Okay.
And Afraz and Manoj work at our school, which is for seventh graders. So they're
Okay.
seventh grade facilitators, and their task is to teach them how to interview, teach them how to be on a camera, teach how to use ChatGPT, teach them how to make videos using ChatGPT and AI. And that's what they do every single day. And they get frustrated by me all the time asking, why haven't you done it? Because they have never done it in their life.
Yeah, well,
And
you have to try. I've never done it either, but every day I use it now, and I'm learning more every day. I mean, I think that technology-wise, I'm really stupid, but I still keep learning, and I have a team of people. I have 3 guys in another apartment in this building that all they do is work on this stuff and then show me what they did so I can learn how to do it quicker.
so Yasmin is asking, what kind of skills do you want in those smart people?
I don't have a particular skill because I don't have a task to be done right now that I could farm out to somebody. But I don't know. When I see somebody who's smart, then I talk to them and say, well, hey, can you do this? Can you show me what you can do on this particular idea? And if they come back and show me something good, then I want to work with them. I think the biggest issue is people want to know, like, okay, how much am I going to get? Before they even showed me any skill. And a lot of the thing is frustration when you start to work with somebody and they're like dumber than a box of rocks. It's like, I don't have time for this. My time is really valuable. And, I like to mentor people, but I like to mentor people that make progress, not that, you work with them a little bit and it's like, when can I get my money? Um, I don't think they should be focusing on the money to start with. They should be focusing on sharpening their skills so that they're actually marketable. And English is a big part of that.
I hope, I don't know how to explain this. They know it, but they still don't want to hear it or do it. All of us, including me. So Afraz, are you able to speak now?
Yes, sir, I'm trying my level best. Actually, the internet is causing a problem. You will again say me, you always blame the internet. Yes, I can hear.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, what we are doing here, if you ask the question, okay, what we do here,
He's
basically
asking,
teach
who are you
students.
and what do you do? That's all.
Okay. Basically, I'm Afraz Baloch Computer Wala, working at Rehan Foundation, Rehan School Currently campus as a facilitator of Changemaker class, which is grade 7, basically, where my responsibility is to make the students create Canva posts uh, using ChatGPT, use of AI. Along with that, I'm supposed to teach them the working of how to take interviews, how to research before taking the interview, and along with that, we show them a TED Talk video, and then we teach them, okay, what should they do, how will they make a review of the video, but they have seen in their own language as well as in English. They should try. So this sums up in this manner that we try to teach them the latest digital skills, remove their shyness, and make them able to stand in the upcoming world, which is getting digitalized every nanosecond, I would say.
Yeah,
That's
the world
great,
is
Afraz.
changing fast.
Yeah, PJ, 1 second. So Taimur, can you switch the camera and show him his photo? So weird. Um, so
Who are you talking to? Afraz
Taimur,
or someone
so
else?
the guy who just closed the camera instead of switching it.
Oh,
So
okay.
Manoj, Afraz, and Rehan, and Rana, and Tamul. This is PJ. He's on the walls on the roof also. I want you to inbox him on Facebook. I want you to inbox him on LinkedIn, and then research who he is. Watch his TED Talk. There's his. He has a startup grind talk. Show that in the class, and then make videos about him, about the talk, and then tag him, and then he will choose who he wants to give interview. He wants to give interviews to people who have good questions. So make good questions, 5 questions, and inbox to him what questions you want to ask him on an interview. He will also arrange another Filipino girl or a boy in Philippines who would talk to your students and have a conversation. I think Rehan Samo among all of these has the highest IQ. He's very, very smart. 20-year-old usher kind of superpower he has. He's
Okay.
just, but he is too anxious. He doesn't have the patience because he has so much energy. He has so much drive. It doesn't. He's not. He's like a, he's like a huge river, which Hudson, which has no place to go. So
Yeah.
he gets frustrated. And if you can talk with him once a week or once a month, it'll help him because he has big plans, but he thinks very in his own. This is his global vision, like most people, right? Most
Yeah.
people have this global vision.
Well, it'll
And
totally change your life if you get a bigger vision. I mean, it happened to me when I traveled to Asia for the first time.
most
You
people have
you
this
think
kind
you
of,
know how the world is, but you have no idea how the world is until you actually experience it. And you can experience some of that online too, just by meeting the right people and talking with them.
correct. So Rehan has 15 students, Afraz has 15 students, and Manoj has 15 students. And they're all 7th graders. They're pretty smart. And what they will do is we will create a WhatsApp group where we will put you in and all the students, and then you
Okay.
can chit chat there and choose a kid wherever you want. But I think if Manoj and Afraz do their 50 interviews and then approach you for an interview, it will be excellent for them, and it'll be excellent for the students. Because, for example, Afraz is always speaking English, but his English only his students can understand. He speaks English with non-Americans or non-English people. So there's nothing wrong with his English, but nobody ever tells you that you're speaking wrong.
Yeah.
The only way you learn is by making the mistake, and he doesn't have an opportunity to talk to foreigners, so he doesn't really know how to speak with them.
Okay.
And I think if he actually tried, and it will actually improve as his accent, it will neutralize, he will speak slower, he will emphasize on the word and do the other things. They are all scared of Carla, even though she's next door. They don't go to her because she screams, she hollers, and they think she's angry, even though she's
That's the
just
American way.
yeah. But they don't understand that because it's the first time they're facing an older woman who is just speaking loud. She's not angry at all,
Yeah.
but they just don't get it, and they get upset. They don't go near to her, thinking that it's scary.
She's
To
a
be honest.
wonderful woman. I can't wait to meet her one day.
Yeah, she's a wonderful woman who speaks loud, and that's why they get so scared.
I speak loud sometimes too, and sometimes people get afraid of me, but I'm actually a pretty nice guy. But I can be harsh sometimes. Sometimes I try to be more like you, Rehan, because you're just so calm, and I can get worked up. But anyway, that's just my personality.
Manoj, you want to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, namaste. My name is Manoj Maheshwari. I'm from Karachi and I belongs to Liari, Karachi. And recently I have completed my education as an MSc Applied Psychology from Virtual University of Pakistan. And I have worked as a teacher, facilitator, psychologist, and researcher too. And currently, I am working as a facilitator at Rehan School Korangi campus. And in the morning, I teach and I teach students yoga, and we all do yoga. And I'm also as a yoga instructor too.
Hopefully that is every day, not just sometimes. Should be every single
Yes,
day. 25
Oh,
minutes at least.
yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
well, I'd like to meet all you guys like one on one and talk to you and see like how can we integrate some stuff. I might have some ideas and maybe we can find some students that could work on a project. One of the things that I like to do is I come up with a some crazy idea for a project, and rather than hire somebody, I like to put something together where it's like a joint venture. I'll give you my idea and I'll help move it along, and we try to make something that can make some money. And up front, we could do something like make an agreement to say, okay, if this thing works, I can buy out the idea for say $5,000, or we can continue to be 50-50 partners. But you have to build
We
something
will.
that's going to actually generate money, because I don't want to invest in something that people like to go along and make money, and then the project never finishes and it never makes any money. So I think that there's going to be a lot of small projects related to AI things where we can make something that uses AI to solve a problem for people that can make money, even small money. Even people sign up and they pay $5 to get access to something that maybe costs us pennies, that we have to pay Chat GPT for the API. Things like that. I don't know if you have anybody who's smart enough to do anything like that yet, because a lot of them seem to just have even basic skills. Even when they have basic skills, they think they are experts, but they're really not, at least the people that I've talked to.
So we have the adults, and the only thing we are look. You have to understand. I am trying to train people in a certain way, and if you give them these ideas, they will not be able to do what they're already doing. You are an idea
Okay.
machine, and they will not. They will not be able to deliver what they're already doing because they already have ideas. It's very challenging to keep them focused on the track.
Yeah.
So please don't share those ideas with them because
Okay.
they will be more distracted than actually be able to achieve anything.
Okay.
We do, however, we're trying to create a factory of people who start things which can be done online. As you said, that it's the best place to harness the people. And I'm trying to start this trend of agencies, online agencies. So Tehmoor works with those people who create agencies of the students after 3 months. So he will be able to introduce you to you people who can do great social media marketing in a particular space, say real estate, say plumbing, say whatever.
Okay. Well,
So
I'd like to see some of their work. If you take real estate, I would like to see some of their work, because I have some things that
can
maybe
I
I could
finish?
hire somebody. Sure.
So Taimur will introduce you to them. We will show you their work also. Don't worry about it. But just keep it. How old are you now? 60?
65.
65. So just keep it till when you're 55. So don't give them more ideas. Just talk about it, have fun if you have time. If you don't have fun, don't do it. Because the moment you will give them ideas of which is off the track, then they get distracted and then they don't give the homework, they don't finish their job, and then it's really frustrating. They can't see the vision, they haven't traveled, they can't see where you're coming from, they can't see where I'm coming from. It becomes very distractive when they start not following the track, and that's very challenging because people are being spammed from everywhere. I've created a track for them based on what I know, and I can only guide them based on what I know. I can't guide them based on what you know, and you're not going to hold their hand. You're just going to give the idea and then just leave, and then I will be stuck with them to trying to bring them back on the track. So just don't
Well,
give them
they need to show me what they can do, and then I can say, well, where can I match that
right
skill up?
now. They can't do anything. They're just trying to have someone with for a conversation. So if that is you, that's great. If that is
Okay.
not you, that's also not something we
Well,
want.
let's try it and see what happens.
So Turkey, Taimur, why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, sir. This is Samur Hassan. I am Chief Admission Officer at Social Media Incubator in Karachi, Pakistan. Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me? Uh,
Yeah.
Nice to talk to you. This is Tamur Hassan.
Okay. I'm looking at you. I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Basically, we are empowering people
Just
to
introduce
earn.
yourself. Who are you? That's it. School
Okay, okay.
empowerment.
Okay, this is Tamur Hassan. I have done Masters in Business Administration and I'm working here as a Chief Admission Officer in Social Media Incubator by Rehan Lawala in Karachi, Pakistan.
Okay.
Thank you, Tamir. Rehan Samu, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Rehan Samo and I live in Liari, Karachi. I have done with intermediate from the HSCSS Degree College and currently I am just on a gap year from my education and I just wanted to do something like I wanted to excel my career in teaching and facilitation. So I joined Rehan School Korangi campus about 5.5 months ago. So currently I am the facilitator of the class of the future navigators. And in this class, my tasks are to just be with the students and be their like their elder brother and help them with their daily tasks and like facilitate them in whatever the task they are completing. So this is my work in Rehan School Korangi campus right now. And besides that, I am a debater, I am a writer, and I'm a researcher too. I'm a student and a facilitator. This is my short introduction.
Thank you.
PJ, he's trying to also do a TED Talk at our school, and we would like to invite you for that. And can you tell him how excited you would be if you were invited to give a TED Talk, PJ? He has
I'd
no
be
idea.
very excited, but I'd also be scared because I feel like, I'm not really a public speaker, and the way I got into speaking in public is somebody invited me to Startup Grind before I even knew what it was. I was the first Startup Grind speaker in China. And the guy basically said, "Hey, can you come to this thing and just talk about your business?" And then when I got there and I saw like over 100 people that paid $10 to come see, I was like very nervous. But anyway, and there's a link out there where you can see that interview. But yeah, I'd be very excited if I could do a TED Talk, but also very nervous.
Great. Turkey, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Rana Zahid Turkiwala. I belong to Rehan School Krongi campus. Here I am working as a confidence builder coach under the mentorship of Sir Rehan Allawala. Glad to see you, Mr. PJ. Thank you.
Okay.
So, Rana Turkiwala went by foot to Turkey as an
Wow.
illegal alien trying to migrate and trying to go there. And that's why he was renamed to Turkiwala, because it's a huge challenge. It took him 15 days to go by buses, go by trucks, hiding and all kind
Yeah.
of weird stuff he went through. So he actually experienced life, a very rich life in 15 days.
Yeah. Did you make it across the border or not?
Yeah, he lived there for 2 years. He
Oh,
speaks Turkish now.
that's great. That's amazing. And I think it probably changed your life. It may have been dangerous and whatever, but that's what life is all about, adventure. I go to places that, people tell me, "Oh, don't go there. It's dangerous." Like, especially when I said I'm going to Pakistan. Oh my God. I had so many people tell me that I'm crazy, and that made me want to go there even more. So, and it was a wonderful experience, and I can't wait to come back there again. Because I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I've also had a lot of disappointments with Pakistani people, but I also don't give up. I think, finding the right ones, it can be a huge blessing. And also, I think I can have a positive impact on people's lives. And that's why I do what I do. I don't care where they're from, but if I find people that, I can work with and it's fun working together when you have something that is, making progress and, just building a future together.
So it will be great if you don't highlight the bad things of Pakistan, because we all know what they are.
Oh, you know what they are? Okay.
Yeah, we already know what they are. You can just tell us the good parts of it. What was your experience like to travel?
Well, I don't go into detail about the bad things, but it's something that can't be ignored, and I think it's something that should be worked on by the people who are there, because it's up to the young people to change the country, and it may take a generation or two, but it's definitely something that if it doesn't change, you're probably going to stay where you are, and there's huge opportunities there. So hopefully you can change some of these things, and I'll try not to talk about it anymore.
Rehan Samo, can you ask a questions to PJ? A question? To ask about your life and your politics and whatever your goal is.
Okay, so my question from PJ Entrepreneur is about simple entrepreneurship. Like if I am being 20 years old, I want to have some startup. What is the prime tip for me that I should start?
Be solved, and it needs to be a problem that's big enough that a lot of people will want to solve it and are willing to pay something to solve that problem. And then the second thing that I think is most important for anybody who gets involved in starting something is that have no fear of failure, because you're going to fail. Some of them will be little failures, some will be big failures, but you need to be able to accept the failures, learn from them, and move on. And sometimes that might mean a pivot, or it might mean doing something for a while and then starting over in a completely different direction, but not giving up. When you fall down, get back up. And I've failed at many, many things. And I think Rehan can say the same thing, but I've also had success at several things that were successes beyond my dreams. So when you start out, I think the biggest thing is you need to find something that people are willing to pay for to solve a problem.
So here is a common question which they all have, but they don't know. Your real name is Paul Jones, and now your real name is Paul Jones Entrepreneur. They're all unwilling to change their
That's
name.
correct. What happened is,
let me finish the question. So they're unwilling to change their name. They think it's humiliating to change their name. They are used to it. They think it's something which is not really needed to change. And what impact does changing a name brings, and how did you get to do it? So
well, first of all, the reason why I did it, I was Paul Jones, and I gave my name to some Chinese friends to solve a trademark issue. They were selling Paul Smith underwear, and they got in trouble for doing that. And I told them to change the name to Paul Jones and sell the inventory and deliver Paul Smith. And they did that. And then what happened is people liked it so much that they said, hey, we'd like to continue using this name. And so I told them to trademark it. And then at that time, it was about underwear. And I just didn't want to be known for underwear. So I got this crazy idea when I heard about Kim.com. He used to be Kim Schmidt. And I thought, I'd like to be PJ Entrepreneur or Paul Jones Entrepreneur. And the reason for the PJ is my dad's nickname was PJ. And so I put the papers in with a court in the US, and to my surprise, it got approved, and I got my new passport. And I think that's one of the reasons why I met you, Rehan, because I know that my name attracted your attention. That was the first thing that we talked about, that it's like you didn't believe that it was my real name. And then I showed you my passport. Anyway, it's opened up so much opportunity for me. And, I'm one of a kind. I don't think there's anybody else that has that same name, legal name. It's also caused me problems. I lost my Facebook account many times because of that, because it's one of the banned names. And that still may be one of the reasons why I lost my account. But now it's all AI and you can't talk to anybody. So we'll see what happens in the end. I don't know. I'm about ready to give up because it's been over 2 years. But anyway, it's totally changed my life in a very good way.
Thank you, PJ. Thank you, everybody, for joining in for today's session. I will hope that their internet and their mobiles and their computers, which they have all been received, but they're not using their computer at the moment. I don't know why they're not using. Who's using a computer right now? Okay, so it's working. Afraz is not working. So Manoj, why don't you asking him a question?
Sir, I want to ask that if I want to become
Can you go to Manoj and see why there's noise in his headphone and fix it? Go ahead, Manoj.
now it's okay. Now, now.
Well, there's no
Okay.
noise, but we
Wait.
don't hear you so well. So
Okay, my question is that if I want to become a yoga expert and I want to spread yoga in public and become a yoga instructor, so in worldwide, so what step I should attempt?
Well, you should learn what other people are doing and earning money from it. I don't know that much about yoga, but I think the first thing to do is to understand the business that you're trying to get into. If obviously you're trying to make money from it, so you need to look around, especially like on YouTube, and see how people are earning money from it. And sometimes that means giving away a lot of content for free to start with and to be known as an expert, and then people will pay you for something, whether that be a video or I don't know if you're trying to make money locally. I think it might be easier to make money, outside of Pakistan. But you have to understand the business that you're getting into. You can't just, get into it and not know what the competition is.
okay, Taimur, can you ask a question?
Sure. PJ, basically, I have joined late. I have simple question. I want to know more about you. What do you do, and so I can learn more from you. So, can you tell me what do you?
You can watch the show later, and you can watch this video on the internet to know who he
Okay.
is.
And explain it in a few words, but I've been involved in many different businesses over many years since I was 9 years old. If you chat with me, I can send you some links where you can watch some videos and learn a lot about me. And then if you want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation once you have that background. And I think it'll be a good conversation. And that's one thing that, people who want to interview me, I send the links of my videos and things like that so they can learn a little bit and ask intelligent questions, but they don't watch them. So that's very frustrating. If I'm going to spend my time being interviewed, I like somebody to have spent some time to get to know what I am so they can ask questions related to what I've done.
Thank you so much, PJ. Rana, can you ask a question?
Yes, sir. I want to take interview Mr. PJ. I have request.
Okay. So what you do is to send me a chat and I'll send you some stuff about me, learn about me, and then, ask me some questions.
Okay, I will send you everything, sir. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
So, do you understand Rana? Because he thinks he doesn't speak English. He thinks he's speaking another language.
No, I can understand him.
But he's so shy in speaking it. Are you shy?
It's a huge problem in here in the Philippines too. Even though people learn English, but people are so shy, and they're like, "Oh, my English is no good." But hey, we're already having a conversation, and I can understand it. So no need to be shy. What has to happen is maybe you need to talk to more native English speakers, and just get comfortable. because I don't see any problem with your English. If you think it's that way, it's in your head, because I've understood everything you said.
And they can't seem to find anybody who speaks English. How can they find somebody who speaks English?
I think just make some friends online.
And they can't seem to be able to make friends online.
Or maybe you're approaching them the wrong way. I don't know. I'll have to look at some of the chats that I get, and then maybe give some feedback to someone to say, okay, this is the reason why I didn't respond, and here's a more appropriate question or way to connect with me. Because my time is very, very valuable and it's limited. I like to help people, but I don't want to help people who are just going to suck up my time, and I'm not going to have any impact.
I've written a book on how to make friends on Facebook. They don't read it. I made an interview course. They don't watch it. I really don't know. I mean, can you, if you bump into a Chinese chip, which we can just insert so they can just download data, that would be easy.
That would be nice. It's hard to find people that are motivated, and I'm not sure why. Some of it may be related to like having the social media and a mobile phone and just like mindlessly doing things that don't learn anything. For me, I like to learn every day. Every possible moment I'm trying to learn things, but not everybody's wired like that. Some people are just sitting there waiting for life to happen to them, and it will never happen if you don't do something to make it happen.
Fantastic. Thank you, PJ, for giving so much time. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. And I hope you guys will stay in touch, and it will really help you.
Is this going to be available online?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, PJ.
Okay. I hope to speak to you guys, one-on-one, chat with me, and we can get a conversation started. Because obviously you guys stand out.
Temur, he wants to get in touch with the students at the incubator. You can connect him to the students at the incubator. And if you go back to where the poster is, you still haven't shown him his photo. That means that you can't recognize him in the photo. He looks so handsome over here that he can't find you on the wall. He's right there. Can you see him? So I suggest you, Temur, to take a selfie with all the photos, then look them up on the internet, connect with them, and then make a video about them. Do the same for the students. That's the purpose of that poster right there, so that
that's
student.
A great idea, because if somebody sent me a picture with my picture next to them, I would respond.
Every student is supposed to do that, and none of them have done it, including the teachers. So you just go to the picture, just like Turkey was used to doing a year ago when we put the poster. Take a selfie, then Google them, research them, make a video about them for 30 seconds to a minute, that why do I want to get in touch with you? And then they will definitely respond. If the students do the same, they will respond. They will be very happy because now they already know them. Nobody will ignore you that way. So please do that. Can you find his photo? He's there. He's the bald guy. He's the only bald guy there. Can you turn the camera? I will show you where he is. He's unable to do it. Turkey, can you show him PJ's photo on the poster like you made for Carla? It's upstairs in the room. Can you go there and show on your phone? Go to the auditorium. Take his phone. Show him the photo of his. So Atif Majid, you want to be part of conversation? I shared the link. Nobody actually joined in. Here's the link. You can just click on it and you can join the conversation if you wanted to join. You're more than welcome to join. Turkey, are you going?
I think he didn't take his phone with him. We're still seeing
Yeah,
his.
I think he's getting it off the tripod, maybe.
Okay.
Anyways, I will arrange the video with you, and then they will tag you, and then they will play your startup grind video with all the students, so
Okay.
that and they will.
Yeah, I have a
try to-
couple of other ones too. I'll give them. Maybe
send
better
them
than
to
the startup grind.
Sure, send them to me.
And I'd like to have a real conversation with them after they look at that. You know, it would be really great to see, you know, how it goes. And I'll be careful not to take them off track with some crazy ideas.
Yeah, just I want them to learn about life, not about business, because they're unable to communicate. They're thinking forward. Manoj is sitting in a room right now. If you see the background, it tells exactly how to start a business without money. He's sitting in that room, but he's unable to see it. He's
Yeah,
sitting
I
in
see
that
it there.
room right there. And that's the room. It's called the startup space. That's where he is sitting, and he's unable to start a startup. I mean, that's what happens to us. We can't see what is right in front of us. He can start an online yoga business. It's right there. It shows exactly what to do, every single step, but he's unable to do it. And that's the thing. They are unable to see things because they're not wearing the right glasses. And by
Okay,
having
well, I can guide him a little bit about that. We should do some one-on-one and
life
work
coaching.
together on it. And I would like to show you what I would do. I don't know anything about yoga, and I'm a little bit fat.
Don't teach them. I don't want him to leave the school. He needs to
No,
he needs 6
I'm
months
not.
to learn
I,
and 6
he
months
should
to
stay.
train.
Listen, he should stay in the school, and when his business is making a lot more money than he's getting paid,
I
then
will
he
help
should.
him start the business. Don't worry. He's not ready. He's a little chicken right now. There's not even going to be a chicken soup out of him if we start out of him. He needs to become a chicken before we can eat him. There's
Well, that's
nothing there
true.
right now.
But there's a lot of things that you can learn ahead of time. You know, it's a journey. You're not going to start the business tomorrow, but there's many things that you need to do to get up to the point where you're ready to start.
Yeah. So as I said, it's written right behind the process where I'm here to hold his hand, invest in his money, invest in his business, everything. But he has to be ready. And he just came like a month and a half ago. So let him be around.
Okay.
There's your poster. So where is PJ's photo?
I should be easy to find. I'm the only bald one.
I know, right? And he still can't find it. हाँ भाई तुर्की नहीं मिल रहा.
Sir, we don't have the pic in the auditorium.
Really? Can you show
Yes,
me
sir.
all the photos?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Rana, can you show me all the photos?
Sir.
Can you turn your camera, switch your camera? So Cillian, Bertola, Dennis Yu, Carla, who's next? Lee. Go right. Go right.
Those are all my friends.
Yeah, where are you? I don't see you also. Yeah, you're probably not there.
Maybe I didn't make it. I think I sent you a picture one time.
Yeah.
I remember you asked my permission anyhow. I know that.
Yeah, we will put you there. So Afraz and Turkey, what you do is you take a selfie with each one of them, write a letter to them on your wall, on your LinkedIn, on your Twitter, and they will respond. And then you learn who they are, and then you make a half a minute to a minute long video about them, and you post it. And that will change your life. If you start doing this, that will change your life. This is how you communicate in the 21st century when you can't really go in person to get attention. You need to get attention. You need to learn how to get attention in this world where nobody has attention. Attention is the currency, not money. So you have to learn how to get attention of people, and that's what I've been trying to teach you. So I hope you learn. Anyways, thank you, PJ, again for the first time. We'll put your photo there somewhere, and we will make it happen.
Okay, well, it's been an enjoyable conversation, and hopefully we can do it again. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye.
There will be no